The food was so good. Please send my compliments to the chef.
Josh, there's literally a hair in your food.
It doesn't matter. A chef always deserves to be complimented.
What do you mean? They sent you rockfish. You order the scallops.
Nicole, I am so afraid of confrontation. We are not doing this right now. This is a hot dog is a sandwich.
Ketchup is a smoothie.
Yeah, I put ice in my cereal, so what?
That makes no sense.
A hot dog is a sandwich.
A hot dog is a sandwich.
What? Welcome to our podcast, A Hot Dog is a Sandwich, the show we break down the world's biggest food debates. I'm your host, Josh Scher.
And I'm your host, Nicole Anaidi.
And today, Nicole, we are doing an impromptu therapy session on my inability. I know, it's become the whole podcast. On my inability to ask for what I want, need, and deserve, because today we're talking about when is the appropriate time to send your food back at a restaurant.
This is such a great prompt.
Yeah.
I truly think we're going to uncover a lot of, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, a-holeness about each other. And I'm really looking forward to that.
Well, because you and I exist, I think, at opposite ends of the spectrum here. Forgive me for generalizing.
Okay.
I associate you with somebody who is very discerning and very much asks for what she needs in this life. And you have a high standard for how you should be treated, which you should, because you do deserve it. And if you are going to a restaurant, Nicole, you are entering this sort of social contract where you are paying money for a good experience, right? And if, say, food is not up to snuff, even the chef deserves to know that the things are not coming out right. You know?
Let me say this. That is a personality trait of mine, but I will say it fluctuates with who I'm with.
Oh, interesting.
So if I'm dining with people that have like strict dietary restrictions,
sure.
For example, I have a lot of friends that keep kosher. And if I, order a Caesar salad that has squid ink breadcrumbs, which is something I believe was on Bestia's menu, and I say, please no squid breadcrumbs, I would expect them to respect that, and I will tell them we have kosher diners at the table. It would be very nice if it does not have it. If the chef doesn't want to do that, maybe on the side. I talk about it because I want to respect the people that I'm dining with, but I also understand the idea of no substitutions depending on where we are. So it's a fine line. Like if I'm at Denny's, am I going to send back the hash browns for not being extra crispy if I ask for it extra crispy? Probably not.
What do you mean probably not? Have you ever done that? At a Denny's level restaurant?
No, I don't think so. Like if they get my eggs, like if I'm at a diner and they get my eggs over medium, even though I request over easy, I don't make a big fuss about it because it's a diner, and it's not like it's gonna like define the rest of my day if my eggs are a little bit over, a little bit under. It doesn't. I'm not that emotionally volatile about things like that. If I'm at a very good restaurant, if I'm at a 5-star restaurant, if I'm eating with people that I love, if I'm spending money, if I'm drinking, if I'm doing this, I'm entertaining, yada, 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 then I have expectations and I would like for them to be met, especially if I'm paying an insane amount for an LA restaurant.
That is a very hard and fast. You should send it back if there are dietary restrictions
that are not respected forgotten.
And I would say especially religious or allergy related, right?
Yeah, I think it's hard.
That's a very hard and fast one.
Yeah, I do think that a lot of the times, I understand allergies a lot, but again, cross-contamination in a kitchen is always expected. You can't expect, I have a friend who's very allergic to peanuts, cannot consume chicken fried in peanut oil. And he does his due diligence. If the place uses peanut oil, he doesn't come to the restaurant because he knows that he can't risk it. Now, if there's like a situation where we're at a restaurant that some things are fried in peanut oil, some things are, the salad is made with vegetable oil, he makes sure to double check, triple check, quadruple check, so he doesn't get sick and die and need an EpiPen. You know what I mean?
Sure. Like Julia has a bean allergy, right? She doesn't go into anaphylaxis, but occasionally there'll be something that is served with a bean puree that we know is easy to just ask for no bean puree. And for some reason, it's like always octopus. There's always some sort of like
white bean puree.
God, it's all the same.
I really...
But if it still sounds like a good dish and we can easily, the beans aren't cooked into anything we can ask for it without, occasionally we'll do that. If that still comes with a white bean puree, no, I don't know if I would send it. I don't know if I would send it back, and I don't think she would.
You would say, I'll just eat it. You'll just say, I'll eat it, or just don't touch it on the plate.
Yeah, I think that's happened before. Oh, God, I really have a problem with this.
I think, let me tell you, when I was younger, I used to say, oh, it's fine. Oh, it's not a big deal. Oh, whatever. But ever since I got married and my husband told me to ask for what I want, it's much, I can't. Like if that happened and my friend had an allergy, or if my wife had an allergy, I would say, I'm so sorry. My wife has an allergy to this. Please send it back. Or if there is any way we can just like, I don't know, comp it or something.
Yeah,
I do that because my money, I work hard for my money.
She works hard for her money.
I really do. And
so hard for her money.
And dining out is a luxury a lot of the time.
I agree. No, here's the thing. You are absolutely correct.
Dining out is a luxury. Like it's tough times for everybody. Like, and if I'm going out to dinner and I'm spending a lot of money, I would like for what I am requesting within reason to be approachable and done by the kitchen. Because as someone who's worked on the line and you see those notes, you try your best to respect them. Yeah, sometimes you talk shit and you're like, oh man, this fool didn't want any spicy stuff, allergic to pepper, yada yada yada. But you have to respect it.
Well, okay, so let's go into the reasons why I might be hesitant to send food back. One, you say it's hard for everybody out here. Restaurants are more expensive than ever, and so you are paying more of a premium as a diner. So it's like it's more of a luxury experience to go out anywhere, to go out to a freaking Chipotle. It's like $18 for a burrito bowl now. Actually, a lot of that's delivery fees because who the hell is going to an actual Chipotle these days?
I do.
I walked into a Taco Bell and I sat down and ate there the other day.
Weird.
And there was not a single other. Do you remember when Taco Bells were bustling and full of life, Nicole?
On Halloween, after the parade.
Incredible. Anywho, it's also harder for the restaurants, right?
What is?
Like economic realities right now.
Absolutely.
They're a lot harder for restaurants. And so I feel guilty being like, oh, I know if this steak is, say, overcooked or whatever, that this is potentially something that's putting this restaurant in jeopardy. I know one steak doesn't do that. I know, but I don't want to like make the life of a restaurant worker harder because I have not to be like the check my privilege guy, but like I'm eating at this restaurant, I can afford it. I wouldn't be eating here if I didn't. Yeah. I'm not a single mother of 3 trying to give her son a good birthday experience at the Outback.
Yeah, exactly.
I have the expendable disposable income
exactly.
to be able to do this.
I'm in the same boat as you.
And so I just like don't send things back partly for that reason. However, I did hit a rock bottom recently.
Tell me about it.
I hit a rock bottom recently. And if you look at all the factors, this is a massive, I'm not going to name the restaurant. This is a massive restaurant group that has like millions upon millions in funding.
They will know who you are.
And they had this like, it was like a $70 chicken dish.
Oh, man. Okay.
And I was straight raw in the middle. It was straight pink. It was only one of the pieces that was raw. And we saw it. I was out with my brother and Julia and my sister-in-law. Yeah. And they're like, hey, like, we got to send this back. Like, that is the most unexcusable thing for like a really nice restaurant. 2, if you're at a Denny's and you're serving raw chicken, that's inexcusable.
Can I say what restaurant it is?
Yeah. It's like a $70 and it was just like a chicken breast. And my brother was like, hey, we need to send this back. And I was like, no, I don't want this confrontation. I ate the raw chicken.
Did you feel sick afterwards?
No, I'm fine. And I know the statistics on salmonella and I know all this. Also, I think it was sous vide, but it was still probably 140 degrees. But if it was sous vide for a while, then I know the salmonella temp killing zones at 140 degrees has to be held there for at least like 20 minutes. Point is, I literally ate the raw chicken to avoid a small-scale confrontation with a multi-million-dollar restaurant group. I don't know.
Was the server attractive?
I hate myself for it.
Was the server attractive?
No, and they were mean. And I get that. And I once sent the one dish I sent back, Nicole, attractive server. We don't know why it makes it more difficult, but it does. Is like psychologically, you want attractive people to like you more. And in LA, you get a lot of like mean, attractive servers. It's just how it's
so mean.
Maggie knows it's great.
So mean.
And no restaurant has meaner and more attractive servers than Jelena. In Venice Beach. Oh, they're
so mean to me.
They're all on their way to their big break, or they're going to be on a Bravo show in 2 years.
I had the meanest server at Jelena 6 years ago. I still remember.
And they will not help you with anything. You'll be like, "Can I get this to go?" And they're just like, "No, you're not going to eat it." And you're just like, you're probably right. You want to spit in my face? But anyways, we were at a cool restaurant, West Hollywood, Salt's Cure.
Yeah, sure.
Before they just flipped to like being a weird breakfast. Anyways, they had a clam dish, and clams are one of my favorite things. Clams, as anybody knows, you have to purge.
Yeah, for sand, right?
You have to purge for sand, right? You soak it, salt water or whatever, and the sand leaches out. I took one bite of a clam. mouthful of sand. Figured it could have been an anomaly. Took another clam. I ate like 4 sand clams.
Well, you had to make sure.
I had to make sure.
Because of your lack of ability to confront people, you ate the clams to make sure that it wasn't a
I've
mistake.
eaten raw chicken. I've eaten, sand clams. I ate a bunch of raw eggs at a Denny's once. The French toast was just so violently undercooked. I'm like putting myself in jeopardy. If remember this story about the Wendy's, the finger in the chili?
Yeah.
I would have eaten the finger.
I'm so
I would have eaten
sorry.
it just to avoid confrontation with the Wendy's employee.
Can I tell you something? It's so healthy to have confrontation.
You're right. And I think I don't avoid confrontation in the rest of my life. She laughs. Do I?
I'm still thinking about the finger in the chili. What was that story?
Oh, no, but it turns out somebody planted the finger there and tried to sue Wendy's.
Their own finger?
It was like, I can't remember whose finger it
cadaver
was. Maggie,
finger?
if you want to look this up, I believe it was a real human finger they
That's
happened to have.
screwed up.
And to be clear, I would not have eaten the finger, but that was a hyperbolic joke. But I sent the clams back.
Okay,
Because
and?
I was straight up, and I prefaced it with like, hey, just somebody, the chef should know that somebody isn't purging these clams properly. And the server like made a big deal out of it.
What
They
do
were
you
like,
mean?
well,
They fought
they were
you
like,
back?
well, you ate a couple clams. And I'm like, yeah, I thought the first one might have been a fluke.
And then the second one?
But like, there were still a lot of clams. It wasn't like I ate half the clams. I ate like 3 clams probably 3 clams. My brother probably had 1 or 2.
How many clams were
There
on
were probably like 16. They were kind of small clams.
16 clams, 4 of the clams. That's
We ate a quarter of the clams.
You ate a quarter of the clams.
But at what point do you get? What do you reach your breaking point for sand clams?
No,
I sent
you're
it back,
so right.
and they were like, okay, well, like, do you want us to like make more clams, or like, do you want us to comp it because like,
They were asking you what to do?
Yeah, they were being
unfortunate.
weird about
I'm
it.
sorry.
And so now I don't feel comfortable doing it. I ate raw chicken another time. This time it was a
it's not-
$50 chicken dish.
Oh, you did this more than once.
Yeah,
Josh, what are you talking about?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
I ate the raw chicken.
Twice.
This time it was dark meat.
And that makes it okay?
No, it makes it worse.
No, okay. Josh, I think you need to get over it. Like, it's okay if this. It's not like the server's dad owns the restaurant. Even if they do, like, no big deal.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a big deal if like you send stuff back. You're not going to make the company bankrupt.
I think
I was
part
about
of this.
to. I was about to like scold you in Farsi. I was about to say "Varshikas nemishe." I don't know why. I just.
No, that might work. That might be the thing that can actually get me out of this
I was about
conundrum.
to literally parent you in Farsi. That was so funny.
Someone's got to parent me, finally.
But no, I really don't. I think there's instances where like you're clearly being a little bit tough. Like whenever I was at this restaurant in Texas one time, and I didn't really know, like, I mean, my palate's always evolving, right? Like, that's who I am. Like, I don't know exactly what I like and what I don't like. I got this smoked chicken dish from this really cool restaurant in Austin, and I sent it back because I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. This is a little bit too smoky for me and my friend's taste. Is there any way we can send it back or maybe get something else? And then they said, oh, this is a smoked chicken dish. I'm like, I totally get it. I just think it was a little bit over something. I don't know. It wasn't that great. My friends didn't really like it either. What can we do? And they were like, it's okay. We'll just take it off the menu. And clearly they were perturbed as well. But also I realize now that I'm like 5 years after, I guess I just don't like smoky food that much. So
Well, good news. You were at a barbecue restaurant in Texas.
it wasn't a barbecue restaurant.
You were in Texas, though.
I was in Texas,
Okay.
but it was not a barbecue restaurant. I would have never done that at a barbecue restaurant. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy.
Like, looking back, do you think you were in the right in that situation? They seem to have given you all of the available information.
God.
This is a chicken
know-
that has been smoked. You as a chef should know that chicken holds smoke
I know.
really heavily, especially
I wasn't
compared.
thinking. And now that I'm looking back on it, man, maybe I don't know. I was like at a table full of like 8 girls and we were all drinking, and maybe it just wasn't the right thing to do at that point. But the principle of the matter is the customer always right?
No, of course they're not.
The
No, that's
customer
like a
is not always
weird
right.
phrase that like my dad would
No.
use
The customer
to justify bad behavior.
At this point, the customer is not always right. The customer, like you said, has available information given to them, and it's your job as a server to make sure of that. But yeah, looking back on it, like maybe I went like you're on that end of the spectrum, but I'm on this end of the spectrum. Me just being too harsh.
Yeah, don't eat raw chicken. But
eat raw
also
chicken.
don't just send back perfectly fine chicken that you happen to not like.
100%. That is so true. And maybe we're telling on ourselves here, but I don't really care. I mean, we're just learning. to this day, like you're still learning how to like talk to people and make sure that. No, I'm not kidding.
I agree
I'm being
with you,
so
I
serious.
know.
Like there's different circumstances. Like you said, confrontation can be really hard, especially with servers, because you want them to like you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's moments where like I can learn from you and you can learn from me, maybe a little bit.
Let's go through some scenarios in which you should definitely send your food back, right?
Is this like aversion therapy? I don't want to do it.
A little bit. Maggie, you're going to play the server. You're going to come in with a dish that Nicole...
Have you ever been a server?
No, I haven't.
Oh.
Only at catering restaurants.
I was an expediter and a front hostess lady.
I once had to throw away like 600 pounds of baked beans that the Youth Baha'i
That's
Conference
so
claims they
screwed
didn't
up.
order, but
That's
we
so
had
screwed
proof that they ordered.
Did you have the PO?
Yeah,
Oh,
we
wow.
did.
Wow,
yeah.
wow. Okay,
Anyway, so
Maggie,
okay.
go ahead.
Hi, I have your undercooked chicken here, Josh. Here's your dish. You can eat it.
Josh,
Maggie, Mrs. Server Lady, I feel that this is putting my own body
eye contact.
This is putting my body at risk.
You don't need to be that
and
serious.
I don't feel I should eat this right now. I would like my money back.
no, that's not how you do it. Maggie,
I'm gonna throw up. I'm
Maggie,
gonna freaking
Maggie,
throw up,
please,
dude. I'm
Maggie,
gonna throw
please
up.
serve me the chicken.
Hi, Nicole. We have
Hi.
this undercooked smoky chicken for you. Here
Oh
it
man,
is.
double whammy. Okay. I'm cutting into the chicken. Me and you are eating it. Huh, it looks like it's raw in the middle. I'm going to send it back, okay?
Don't do it. I'll throw myself under the table. I'll start crying.
Josh,
I'll
I
make
think-
myself throw up
Josh,
if you
I
do
think
it.
we have to send this
I really
back.
don't feel good.
Josh, it was $78.
I don't want to be here anymore.
Hold on. Let me just talk to her.
Go ahead.
Excuse me? Excuse
Yes?
me? Garson. My dad does that, Garson. I go, Dad, you can't say that anymore. You just have to say excuse me.
Garçon, coffee.
Excuse me. It looks like this chicken is a little bit raw in the middle. Here, you can take a look for yourself.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Okay, do you mind if we can send it back? Do you want the chicken? Do you want to
I want to go home now. I don't feel safe anymore.
You can send it back. I think it's okay. Do you mind removing it off of the bill if possible?
Yeah, easy peasy.
Great. Thank you so much.
That was actually pretty good. I admit that I got a little bit dramatic during that exercise where I was threatening to make myself throw up underneath the table. I don't think that was a good adult reaction to the situation.
Okay. Well, now that we know about sending your food back, do you ever send your drinks back at a bar? Have you ever done that before?
No, but I will tell you what I have done multiple times because so many times
Make it stronger.
You will no, never. I've never done that. You will order a cocktail that you think sounds good. It comes and it is completely not what you wanted. This
Butt
happened.
trash.
This happened recently. It was something they called like a white Negroni and it had a dragon fruit foam on it and it just looked like Pepto-Bismol and tasted like bleach. And I didn't want it to ruin my meal. So it tells you what I did, Nicole. $18 drink. I went and I slammed it.
Oh, you
I slammed it because at some point I didn't want this taste to obstruct my day, but I wanted the alcohol inside of me, and so I slammed it, and then I just ordered another one that I knew I'd like.
So you've never
Is that a normal reaction?
like just to eat the sin of the bartender?
Yeah, and that's happened. Julia doesn't like a drink. It's a margarita that's too spicy. I
drink
say,
it.
okay, I'll absorb the medicine. Yeah.
It really depends. Let me tell you, that also, it depends on who I'm with. It's so funny how this ebbs and flows. You know, it's called being a Gemini, man. Just a chameleon. Like, it depends. Like, if I'm with, like, friends that are very, like, opinionated, they're like, this margarita, yeah, it's a little bit too salty. Like, I'll just say, hey, like, oh God, what do I do? I just say, hey, the margarita is a little bit too salty. Do you mind, like, just throwing in, like, a little bit of lime, a little bit of sugar? And they say, yeah, sure, of course.
That's reasonable.
That's reasonable. But whenever it's like, oh, this...
Would I ever do that? No, but that is reasonable.
Why? But like, why? You again?
yeah.
You're at. Well, if I'm at a dive bar, I'm not sending back my Midori sour. Let me just say that much.
It's so wild that you order Midori sours at a dive bar.
It's my favorite thing. It's green.
It's so green. I got a bottle of Midori because of you, and I've been making Midori spritzes.
Do you like it? It's okay.
No.
So why do you still
I love
make
the
it?
idea of it, though.
So you mean to tell me that you don't send back your own food that you make for yourself?
Well, what I do is
so
if I
crazy.
get...
This guy's nuts.
I'm afraid of confrontation with
With yourself? Josh, don't make Midori spritzers
Such
anymore.
a good drink, Josh. Thanks for making it for me, Josh. Everyone loves you, and you're super cool and handsome. That's what I do when I make a drink that's bad.
I'm so
No, can I tell you what I do if I get a bottle of alcohol that I don't really love? Is if I'm ever invited to like a large house
I
party.
know what
go
it
ahead.
is. You make it in. You make a sangria, or you make a big punch.
I call
pitcher.
it jungle juice.
You make a jungle
or riot punch. I prefer the term riot punch. But if you add enough citrus and sugar to basically any liquor,
It'll be good.
Yeah, it's gonna be good enough, right? And so I'll make a gallon of riot punch where I'll just pour in all my old bottles that I don't really like.
That's smart.
You can't add Malort to that though. I'll tell you what, Malort really dominates the conversation amid the Midori and pineapple juice.
Speaking of which, you made us drink the bartender's handshake.
Oh, this is a weird thing that happened at a restaurant. I think the clams were off at that restaurant. I didn't say anything.
Oh yeah, they were a little sandy.
Yeah. Sandy clams.
We all ate them.
Yeah, and I said nothing, and I acted like I liked them.
But see, that's a perfect example. Well, I was inebriated, so I didn't say anything. I didn't care.
Yeah, okay, so this is a great use case, right? I ordered a round of drinks for the bar. This was like a welcome drink for a new employee. So we had to do what's known as like the bartender's handshake or a chef's handshake.
I've never
which
heard of
is
this before.
Fernet Branca. You've never had Fernet?
This was my first. Yes, it was my first time having it.
If you ever want to make friends with the bartender or just let people know that you're sort of in the know, and this is like a weird sort of, what's the term that's not a demeasuring contest? What's a better term for that? In group, out group, like I don't know. Anyways, it's to let people know that you're in the know, but hopefully it's not douchey. That's what I'm trying to say.
So wait. I need to get this straight because it's when you go out and you order Fernet Branca, that's you telling the bartender
you just say
that
Fernet. And there's Fernet Branca and Fernet Menta. There's another product called Fernet Valle, but it's not related to that. But you just say like Fernet.
Just can I get a Fernet, please?
Yeah.
And what is that? And that's letting the bartender know that you're cool?
Correct. Yeah, there's a couple. There's Fernet. There's
this is so dorky.
I know, but this is the thing. No, and it works. It works. Or like even another way, you can say Chinar, right? But any of these weird
This
kind
is
of
really
like
dorky.
digestif kind of Amari.
I get Amaros.
What Amaro?
I get Amaro Nannino on the rocks.
That would probably work too. But like Fernet is the one. Nobody really likes it. You say you like it.
I didn't like
very
it.
mentholy. It's very heavy.
Like it. You made me drink all of it.
very
you tipped my
big.
glass.
What?
You tipped my glass.
Yeah.
It's like boop.
But like that, nobody liked it. But I
it.
made the decision. I made the executive decision, and but you would never send that back, right?
No, that's because I understand the principle of it.
Yeah. So times in which you should send something back for sure. Religious or allergy restrictions.
Okay.
Right? Safety issues. If there's a razor blade in your hamburger.
Yeah.
If the chicken is undercooked, you might get salmonella. Stuff like that.
What about undercooked pasta, undercooked potatoes, undercooked rice?
That is a great question. That is...
Because undercooked proteins, when they're in the temperature danger zone, that's one thing.
Yeah.
I'm down to send back. But whenever it's like the potatoes are under, what do you do then? Like the potatoes.
Oh, you know what I would do, but I would say that like you should send that back, right? This happened to me at a very expensive restaurant in Los Angeles. I got a pasta dish.
You've had so many poor restaurants.
Dude, honestly, I'm just let me cook for myself. Right? We'll light a candle at the table. I'm very good at cooking.
Korean barbecue, man.
Like, yeah, or just go to Korean barbecue all the
yeah,
time.
yeah.
That's the key. I went recently, and
Me
I'm
too.
not gonna lie, I showed up there a little lit, and I think I ate a full pound of Korean beef tartare. It was very delicious. You can't undercook your meat
If it's
meant to be served
tartare.
raw. But I got this pasta dish, and I could literally diagnose what exactly happened to it. It was super watery, but I tasted it. And it was salty, right? And it was this, mushroom, forage, nettle, what the hell
Yada,
ever.
yada, yada.
Yeah. And I tasted it, and I was like, somebody oversalted this while they were finishing it. A chef came up and tasted it and said, don't reduce this anymore because then it's going to
Add
get
water,
too salty.
yeah.
You have to add water, but then the sauce ended up too thin, and then the pasta was also overcooked because they added water, increasing the boil. Like, I could see all this happen, right? There was a chef that it's not like they're not aware that was happening. They told him to do that, right? They were, running a line. They didn't want to get backed up. They said,
Sure.
screw it. I wish I could go back and send that pasta dish back and just go, this is unacceptable.
Regret. So you live with
I do.
regrets.
And I'm not going to live with regret anymore. If I get undercooked rice, if I get undercooked potatoes, if I get under or overcooked pasta,
Okay.
and I am paying a premium for it. If I'm going to Little Tony's and paying $9 for spaghetti,
Yeah, that's fine.
no.
That's
if I'm at a
fine.
nice restaurant, and this is not one of those restaurants that is struggling to stay alive.
No, it's not. I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Do you?
Oh, really?
I know. Why would I even order pasta there? It was because I was there with my brother and he didn't eat red meat.
We're so messy.
So catty.
We're being so messy today. I can't believe it.
But yeah, I think such an egregious cooking error or a cleaning error, like sand in the clams, that is license to send it back. What about steak that you ordered medium rare that came medium? Or steak that is cold and over-rested as the same place that served me that Pepto-Bismol ass drink. Give me a burnt over-rested cold steak. Paid $90 for it. Ate it. Shut the hell up.
Oh, yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah, I think at I don't know, over-rested versus unrested steak with that stuff. I like my steak hot. I do. But I don't think I've ever sent a steak at like a steakhouse back.
Yeah.
Like that. I kind of wish I did, though. I wish I did. Because they're not going to remember me. They're not going to keep my face. Maybe will they remember me? Will they print out my face and say, don't let this person back in because I was judgmental about their steak that I didn't like roasted?
The other worry, and this shouldn't happen in any professional kitchen.
Oh, you
Someone
mean like
grates
waiting?
a little bit of Fremunda cheese on your steak when it comes out.
Oh, like in waiting?
They're spitting in the gravy.
Come on, man.
You know, I know it doesn't have. Everybody's heard stories. I've never seen it.
Come on, man. You can't be mixing Mexican and
continental. Luis Guzman, come on the show, man. What a bench.
Luis Guzman kicked me in the face.
Ordering something that you didn't like and just sending it back based on taste preferences.
Oh, see, like that's something
smoked chicken.
That's something. It depends on your personality. It depends on your personality. I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I don't do that anymore. I know if I'm ordering a smoked chicken or fish dish, what I'm getting myself into now, and I don't think I will ever do that again.
And they could have messed up that chicken. It was probably what you experienced is probably called dirty smoke.
Yeah,
right?
It wasn't pleasant. Like all of my friends were like, dude, this is bad. Dude, this is bad. And I'm like, oh, maybe it's just, I was like, since I'm the food friend, I'm like, it's whatever. I tasted it. It was it wasn't good.
Yeah, but also like sometimes a movie's not good. You don't request a refund for seeing, what's a bad movie that I saw recently?
The movie isn't satiating me though.
Wasn't that a movie called No, I'm thinking of Hunger, where it's about the French horror movie about cannibalism.
Oh, no, that's called Raw.
It's called Raw.
Neo-French horror films are my favorite, by the way. I'm all screwed up in the head. But no, let me tell you, if you want to send your food back, you got to do it with respect. You can't be rude about it. You can't. You just can't be like, this is bad.
Yeah.
Like, you need to explain yourself. There's a little bit of a back and forth. There's a little bit of a dance, a little bit of tango. But hopefully there's an equal amount of respect at the table with the servee and the server. And you can stand up for yourself sometimes, Josh.
And I think ultimately what this is about is confronting your childhood traumas, because my dad at restaurants, he would order food and he would just lie about stuff that was wrong with it, and then try and hassle the manager to giving us a full refund.
That probably has a lot to do with it.
And sometimes it worked.
But you don't have to do that anymore, Josh.
And sometimes I'd cry.
But Josh, you don't have to do that anymore. Now you make your own money and you make your own decisions, and you're going to start a life with your beautiful partner, and you don't have to do that anymore. We
can overcome our circumstances. There wasn't gristle in the turkey, Dad.
God.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp.
Comparison is the thief of joy, and it's easy to envy other people's lives.
It might look like they got it all together on their Instagram, but in reality, they probably don't.
Therapy can help you focus on what you want instead of what others have, so you can start living your best life. Therapy has helped me set boundaries with the people I care about in order to strengthen bonds and relationships. And yes, that includes you, Josh.
Oh, I'm just happy to be included. My therapist has taught me how to unpack the childhood trauma that still drives a lot of my decision-making today, which means I can stop dumping it all on Nicole during this podcast.
Thanks.
You're welcome. But for real, therapy has been very formative for me, and I'm very grateful that I started doing it.
That's great. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try.
We all get sad sometimes, right, Nicole? It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule.
Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge.
Stop comparing and start focusing with BetterHelp.
Visit BetterHelp.com/hotdog today to get 10% off your first month.
That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/hotdog. All right, Nicole. We've heard what you and I have to say. Now it's time to find out what other wacky idiots are rattling out there in the universe. Well, it's time for a little segment we call Opinions Are Like Casseroles. But before we get to everyone's favorite segment, it's everyone's sixth favorite segment. It is dropping in the rankings, which is ironic because this is Review a Review, where you rank us out of 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and we review your review. First up, we got at Kazwex Blekmod Kicklefur Frivungtagig.
That's
like
pretty
they
good.
slapped to their keyboard for a while.
Is that Icelandic?
Yeah, it's actually a single town in Wales. 5 stars. Review this.
Angry face.
I was originally going to rate this 5 out of 5 because Nicole said teachers should be paid more, but no more than 5 minutes later, Josh is saying teachers should be paid less.
You suck.
So then I was going to give 1 out of 5, but then again, Josh said he was joking. Classic Josh move. Love the pod.
This kept me on my toes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Back and forth, the emotional highs, emotional
I love
lows.
it. I love roller coaster ride. Gonna give this a 4.5.
You should laugh every day. You should cry every day. You should tell someone you love them
Do you
every single
cry
day.
every day?
I don't think I've cried in... When was the trial against my mom?
Oh my God, what's wrong with
18
you?
years. 18 years is the last time I really cried.
How old are you? 31?
32 now, just turned it.
What's 18 minus 32?
14.
So you haven't cried since you were 14?
Yeah, like a real proper cry. Like I may have like teared up in a movie, but as far as like, oh no, I cried when my grandma died. That was big.
You're fine.
That was actually a big move for me. That was huge. I had to allow myself to cry.
Good
Anyways,
job.
I give
I'm
5
proud of
stars
you.
on this review. It's pretty good. Teachers should be paid more, but also it's gonna require like a whole social
I cried yesterday.
restructuring. About what?
I was happy tears.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why are you happy?
My friend is pregnant.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Yeah. And
That's
another
nice.
and my family member's pregnant. So
See?
I was
Should
like,
cry.
everybody's
How
so
many
happy.
times do you think you've cried in the last 18 years since I last like really cried?
Huh?
How many times have you cried in the past 18 years? If you had to guess, like say how many times per month do you cry and multiply that by 12, then
I
by
think
18.
I cry like 5 times a month.
Okay, so times 12, 60 multiplied by, let's say
My math isn't good.
18, over like 1,000 times. You've probably cried 1,000 times since I've...
My mom
Incredible.
always told me to cry. She says, don't keep it in.
You
And
shouldn't keep it in.
She's the best.
No.
Help.
All right, let's get to that first opinion.
Mechanisms.
Hey, Nicole. Hey, Josh. Whenever I serve celery raw, I like to take a vegetable peeler and peel off that woody, fibrous outside of the celery. When I tell people I do this, I get weird looks.
Smart.
Like
a French chef building a beautiful not charcuterie, what's the other one?
crudité.
Crudité. There are certain vegetables that if you get the inner stalks of celery, you don't really have to do it. I don't even like celery as it is. But there are certain things that like I've decided I'm no longer going to peel. Carrots. Carrots being the main one. You don't have to peel your carrots. A lot of people do. Certain cucumbers, you do peel, right? Or people do the old half peel.
I love it when it's like half peeled, half not peeled. It's so pretty.
But celery, listen, if your eating experience is going to be made better by shaving off that extra outer layer, you should do that.
I think this is, you're so classy. A person with fine taste and doesn't have time for BS. They know what they want and they don't want fibrous celery parts, and I respect it.
I love they said when I'm serving raw celery,
I know,
meaning
who
this is a
serves
bit of a
raw
lifestyle
I know,
choice
I
for
like
them,
it. I'm into
you know?
it, like serving raw celery. I like it.
I would love to come to one of your parties and eat your crudité.
I've never loved someone enough to peel. Sorry, I spit on myself. I've never loved someone enough to peel their celery for them, but you love yourself and your guests so much. And that's something to aspire to as a future person that's going to host a lot of parties and stuff.
I cut an apple for Jules the other day, and I was at Granny Smith's, so the skin was very tough, and I peeled it.
That's so nice.
Took a Y peeler at it.
I cut David a plate of fruit while he was studying.
Big fruit cutter and server. I'm going to really instill that into my children.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, I think that it's perfectly acceptable for people to be revolted by mayonnaise, as I am one of those people. It's not something that I can control. It has nothing to do with the blandness. I can deal with mayonnaise if it's in something. It's not that I dislike the taste. It's that I have a physical repulsion to it. It's like if I'm eating undercooked eggs and I get a bite of that, like, whiteness that's still like really slimy and undercooked, you know, my body recognizes that might not be something I want to put inside of it. And that's how I feel about mayonnaise. And I hate being told by two people on a podcast that I need to grow up for that. I'm sorry, I can't control my body's evolutionary urges. But I do love the podcast. Bye.
Well, I think what they really need. Grow up! Come on, eat the mayonnaise.
I'm so sorry. What evolutionary thing are you talking about?
Okay, so there is a thing. The thing they're talking about is that they're talking about people are naturally revulsed by anything that resembles bodily fluids, right? You know, and so that's a thing. Mayonnaise.
I'm the opposite. I'm attracted to that.
I am too. Right?
I do watch pimple popping videos.
No, I hate that. I don't like that, but I love
pimple popping videos on the internet.
Mayonnaise. But I will say, as far as overcoming biological urges, I think that is key to people living in a society, right? Like, not murdering isn't the same as eating mayonnaise, you know? But like people overcoming urges that they feel are natural to them, I think is very important, if not completely endemic to living in civilization. So all I'm saying is, you can't overcome. You don't have to. You don't have to. No one's trying to make you love mayonnaise. You don't have to. But like, I don't know, grow up.
Grow up.
Grow up. I'm kidding. You're great.
Hey, Nicole and Josh. I just want to say that I love your guys' podcast, and I wanted to share with you the best thing to roast over a campfire. It is not marshmallows, and a lot of people also think it is Starburst for some reason, but it is not.
Wait, what?
It is Twinkies.
Oh, hell yes.
Are so good when you roast them over a campfire because they like get all like crispy on the outside and all warm, and people need to know that roasting Twinkies is the best thing ever. So, anyways, love you guys. Bye.
I want to eat a campfire.
Did you know that people are roasting Starburst over a campfire?
No.
If you Google it, there's an upsetting amount of images. That's just, they kind of melt, but just chewy, sour, warm.
Ooh, sounds like fun.
Metastasizing, melting taffy. It's very strange. It turns, I don't like it.
I'd eat it.
I think marshmallows and Twinkies are doing somewhat similar things, right?
The Twinkie is absolutely genius. My God.
Incredible.
I cannot wait to go on a camping trip and do that. Oh my God. Truly genius.
You ever go to one of them chefy restaurants where they obviously don't have a pastry chef, and they're one of those like, we cook everything over live fire and in a live fire
Are you talking
oven.
about campfire?
That is one of the restaurants, but like they'll have a dessert that's like bread pudding, but like cooked in the wood burning oven.
Yeah, it's great.
And that's great. You're getting like that toasty, smoky note from the live fire.
Sure.
Twinkies caramelize really well on the outside because they're so sugary and so processed. You know, that sounds incredible.
Lovely.
The cream in the middle gets hot.
The best
you are the
opinion ever.
smartest person I have
you
ever.
You deserve a...
a National Congressional Medal of Honor.
A Caldecott Medal.
What is a Caldecott Medal? You deserve a Pritzker Prize.
You deserve a Pulitzer Prize.
I'd say a Peabody Award.
I think you deserve the Nobel Peace Prize.
I'd say maybe even an International Association of Culinary Professionals Award.
I think you deserve a gold star.
If not a gold star, I'd say at least a regional magazines and newspaper. I'm trying to think. I was a finalist for.
Oh, yeah.
Like
way to interject yourself in the conversation,
I know.
buddy.
It's like
next
a real.
Next opinion.
I gotta look this up.
Hey, Nicole and Josh. I'm Aditya, and I'm calling from India.
Oh,
I'm
hi.
a big fan of your podcast and everything you guys have been doing. I recently listened to another great podcast by Indian entrepreneur Nikhil Kamath, involving a few people from the restaurant chain industries here. And they were talking about menu engineering, which I found to be a very interesting topic.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to ask both of you, what is the greatest or most interesting piece of menu engineering you've ever encountered? And what are some lessons in menu engineering that you think independent restaurants should be learning from mega corps and QSRs like McDonald's?
We have listeners in India.
That's
Isn't
rad,
that
dude.
so cool?
And menu engineering is absolutely fascinating. You and I have both sort of worked a little bit in that side of the industry.
Sure.
I will say a great example of menu engineering and now a recently great addition they've had. Chipotle, to me, is one of the...
Interesting.
They've become paradigmatic, right?
Sure.
Where everybody is now... The way that people said the Uber of... whatever. The only thing I can think of is marijuana, because there's all those places that are just like, we'll drive the pot to you. But like the way that places were, the Uber of X, places are now the Chipotle of X. You have places like Kava Grill, the Mediterranean Chipotle.
It's the Subway method.
It's the Subway method, but
Better.
everything being made fresh and in front of you. They took the Subway method to the next degree. Their newest feat of menu engineering, they took their chicken that is probably a little bit underseasoned, right? It's not underseasoned. It's
They made
just
it
not,
red.
They made it red. chicken al pastor. It's incredible. They took the psychology of the way that people love birria all over Instagram, right? And Chipotle probably is, I'd say, a couple months away from adding birria to their menu. All they need to do
Why would they do that when they have barbacoa?
Well, because birria is a much more... When Chipotle adds birria to their menu, all they need to do is add a little bit of chili puree to their barbacoa, because their barbacoa they're serving is not barbacoa. It's just spicy shredded beef, right? It's cooked in vats. Yeah. Barbacoa is like a whole barbecued lamb cooked in maguey leaves or whatever. Yeah. But anyways, they changed their chicken to chicken al pastor, right? Trying to make it a little bit more Mexican sounding because Chipotle was founded by a white dude in Colorado. Yeah. You know, trying to jump in on that cultural wave. And it was probably such a cheap addition to the menu. They did the same with their steak, and they turned it into carne asada. Their grilled...
That wasn't as popular, though,
It wasn't as popular, but chicken is now so popular, and they have been running through chicken al pastor.
Oh, yeah.
I think Chipotle is the best menu innovator of our time, and I think the most important restaurant chain in the QSR game that we've ever seen. I don't know who's doing it better. Blaze Pizza also did it great.
Yeah, I'm going to not say QSR. I'm going to go with Cheesecake Factory. One of the most extensive, beautiful menus ever to have touched down in the United States of America. It is beautiful. Everything about their menu just it's exorbitant. It's pure Americana. They have enough cheesecakes for like every single state could eat a cheesecake. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. The menu is insane. It covers all of their bases. They do the Asian foods. They do the Italian foods. They do the American foods. They do everything. But the thing is, they also do it incredibly well. Yeah. And it covers all of their bases. And I think they do an exceptional job. And I just love the way that their menu is set up, and it's so vast. You can't go wrong at Cheesecake Factory. I used to be a Cheesecake Factory hater, but now I appreciate it so much.
Yeah. That's funny. I think, Blaze Pizza is the other one I wanted to shout out. They were the fastest growing QSR restaurant in history for a while. LeBron
Thanks a lot, Schwarzenegger child.
What?
One of the Schwarzenegger kids was one of the first investors.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
I know it started by the Wetzel family of Wetzel's Pretzels fame.
Smart.
And so good on them for completely hitting it out of the park again.
Yeah.
But everybody wants everything hot and fresh, ready-made. All the legacy pizza joints for delivery were sort of falling out of favor.
Five Guys does a really good job of customization that I love. You can get pretty much anything you could ever want on a burger, and I think that's really, really cool too.
Yeah. Wow. The great question, though.
Great question.
Shout out to India. We're wrapping, or we got one more in us, Maggie?
One more.
Come on. One more.
Hey, Josh and Nicole. I'm just wondering if a sharp knife is actually more dangerous than a dull knife.
Oh.
Right. Bye.
I have thoughts about this.
Go ahead.
Okay, so every chef has said the phrase, a dull knife is more dangerous than a sharp knife.
I disagree.
I also disagree. And what they're saying, there's truth to it. You should keep your knives sharp. They're talking about the idea if you have a dull knife and you're trying to, say, cut through an onion and you have to apply more pressure with a dull knife than a sharp knife.
Yes.
And when you're applying more pressure, more things can go wrong. The onion skin slips off. Your cutting board shifts.
Your hand gets in the middle of it.
Your hand gets in the middle of it. But what you have to weigh that against is if you have a very sharp knife and you're chopping, going fast, if that sharp knife nicks you, you're bleeding.
Yes.
If the dull knife nicks you, I've nicked myself with dull knives cooking at friends' houses and stuff.
Sure.
And nothing happens, right?
Yeah, I love it.
To the point where I was like, if I'm using my nice Japanese knife at home that I don't even use for day-to-day tasks, if that would have gotten me, like, that could have cut a vessel. And you and I have all been there with a very sharp knife.
Yes.
And you get a nick. So I would love to see actual data on that, but I don't know.
I think sharp knives are more dangerous than dull knives because it's like a weapon, and like when you wield it and you don't know what you're doing, I feel like it's more you can cause more damage.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who is like, and if you have, write in with opinions, but anybody who is like severely injured themselves with a dull knife. I know people with extremely sharp knives in restaurant scenarios, especially.
It goes through their shoe.
Yeah.
It's bad.
It's insane. So I don't know, like, I suppose you should still keep your knife sharp, right?
Yeah, people like poke each other on the line.
Oof.
Bad stuff.
Yeah, but I've always taken a lot of umbrage with that phrase, and I think, I don't want to say it's like irresponsible to say. It's just
like
whatever.
Dolores?
Yeah, the word existed before the character.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it was in the dictionary after.
Yeah. It's like, do you think the shape of the goblins' noses existed before?
Not to that extent.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by. A hot dog is a sandwich. You've got new audio-only episodes out every Wednesday, new video episodes out every Sunday.
If you want to be featured on Opinions by Casseroles, give us a ring and leave a quick message at 833-DOGPOD1.
And if you like to watch other videos of us doing stuff, you can go to Nicole's TikTok. What's your TikTok?
I don't have TikTok anymore. I deleted it off of my phone because I would become addicted to it and I would become a shell of a person and I would doom scroll all day instead of be a producer at this office.
All right, probably go to Mythical Kitchen on YouTube instead. You can watch us do stuff there.
Go to Mythical Kitchen's TikTok. It's so funny.
Yeah, we do good work.
Oh, let me tell you, our TikTok is very funny.
Yeah.
Have I convinced you? Please go.
Remember that time you watched one, you went, ha ha?
Yeah.
It's so funny.
That's only happened a few times though.